Good evening. This is All India Radio Kohima. I'm Jonas Yantan with Evening News. The headlines. First session of the 14th Nagaland Legislative Assembly to commence on 20th of March. Governor to address the House on 21st. Union Minister for Law and Justice Kiren Rijiju bats for simultaneous elections to the Lok Sabha and state assemblies. Union Home Ministry announces 10% reservation for former Agniveers in Central Industrial Security Force. And thunderstorm and heavy rainfall predicted across the state on 19th and 20th March. Now the news in detail. The first session of the 14th Nagaland Legislative Assembly will commence on 20th of March. Secretary in charge Kohima Rio said the first day of the assembly will begin with oath and affirmation by the members of the 14th NLA, which will be followed by obituary reference and election of speaker. On the second day, the governor will give his address, which will be followed by motion of thanks on the governor's address. The House will go on recess on 22nd March and resume on 23rd March with the laying of annual administrative reports and introduction of government bills. The discussion on the motion of thanks on the governor's address will also be taken up. The House will then go on recess and resume on 27th March with the laying of reports and rules, consideration and passing of government bills, adoption of the motion of thanks on the governor's address, presentation of supplementary demands for grants for the year 2022-23, and presentation of the state budget for the year 2023-24. The session will conclude on 28 March with the presentation of the Comptroller and Auditor General's report, discussion, supplementary grants, discussion on the state budget, announcement of the constitution of various financial and non-financial committees of the Assembly, and panel of chairmen for the year 2023-24. The House will then be adjourned. Sanadai. Union Minister for Law and Justice Kiren Rijiju today batted for holding simultaneous elections to the Lok Sabha and state assemblies, saying it would result in huge saving to the public exchequer. In a written reply in the Lok Sabha, Rijiju listed out major impediments or imperatives like amending the constitution and bringing all political parties on board before carrying out the gigantic exercise. He said department-related Parliament Standing Committee on Personnel, Public Grievances, Law and Justice had examined the issue in consultation with various stakeholders, including the Election Commission. Rijiju said the matter now stands referred to the Law Commission for further examination so as to work out a practicable roadmap and framework for simultaneous elections. He said simultaneous elections will bring considerable savings to political parties and candidates in their election campaigns. The minister added that asynchronous Lok Sabha and Legislative Assembly elections result in prolonged enforcement of Model Code of Conduct, which has adverse impact on developmental and welfare programs. Administrator and Returning Officer Kohima Municipal Council KMC T. Lanusenla Longama informed that elections will be held for urban local bodies with 6 wards reserved for women. Longama informed that nomination papers may be delivered by the candidates or their proposer to the returning officer or assistant returning officer at the office chamber of the administrator, office of the KMC, New Supermarket Complex, Kohima, between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. on any day between 3rd April and 10th April. Longama informed that nomination papers will be taken up for scrutiny on the 12th and 13th April, while withdrawal of candidature will be opened till 24th March and election will be held on 16th May. State Election Commission Nagaland conducted a training program for returning officers and assistant returning officers for the upcoming election to the Municipal and Town Councils 2023 at Kohima today. Commissioner and State Election Commission Nagaland T. Mabemoyantan highlighted on training of legal aspects like nomination, scrutiny, drawing up of list of validly nominated candidates, poll day preparation, counting and result declaration were highlighted and explained by the master trainers from CEO's office, Kohima. This news comes to you from All India Radio, Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on News on Air app and YouTube channel AIR News Kohima. All India Radio is presenting a vignette of select quotes of the Prime Minister from Man Ki Baat in a special series which began on 15th March. Here is a report.
People, voice, and direct dialogue. That's your and our Mann Ki Baat. Yes, this is how our Prime Minister connects with millions of countrymen with the program Mann Ki Baat, aired on the last Sunday of every month on All India Radio. This series, which started on October 3rd, 2000, will complete its 100th episode in April 2023. All India Radio is presenting a vignette of select quotes of the Prime Minister from this special program, which guided the country on a new path. In the 4th episode of the series, celebrating 100th episode of Mann Ki Baat, let's listen to the excerpts from Mann Ki Baat through which the Prime Minister established yoga as a health movement across the globe. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has a lot of faith in the tradition of Indian knowledge. He has been a strong advocate and one who practices yoga every day. With his dynamism and efforts, the United Nations declared June 21st as the World Yoga Day every year. All India Radio shares his thoughts on this momentous occasion from Mann Ki Baat, aired in December 2014.
यूनाइटेड नेशन ने योग को पूरा विश्व 21 जून को योग दिवस में माने, इसके लिए स्वीकृति दी। भारत के लिए ये बहुत ही गौरव का, आनंद का अवसर है। सदियों से हमारे पूर्वजों ने इस महान परंपरा को विकसित किया था, उसने आज विश्व जुड़ गया। योग व्यक्ति के जीवन में तो लाभ करता था, लेकिन योग ने ये भी दिखा दिया वो दुनिया को जोड़ने का कारण बन सकता है। सारी दुनिया योग के मुद्दे पर यूएन में जुड़ गई।
Union Home Ministry has announced a 10% reservation for former Agniveers in the Central Industrial Security Force. Former Agniveers would get relaxation in the upper age limit and will also be exempted from physical efficiency test. This announcement comes a few days after the ministry had announced a similar 10% reservation for former Agniveers in the Border Security Force. As per the notification, the upper age limit for candidates of the first batch of Agniveers shall be relaxed by up to 5 years, whereas the other batches shall get age relaxation by up to 3 years. The central government launched the Agnipath scheme for recruitment in the armed forces. The scheme aims to induct youth between 17.5 years of age and 21 years of age on a 4-year short-term contractual basis. It has been designed to ensure a youthful profile of the armed forces. Nagaland Legislative Assembly Secretariat has notified that Achambemo Kiren MLA has been appointed as the Chief Whip of the NPF Legislature Party, while the NCP has elected Namreen Chang MLA as the Chief Whip of the NCP Legislature Party. Nagabots, in collaboration with Industries and Commerce Department, will be organizing Nagaland's first ever robotics events, Techmorphoses. The event is aimed at promoting the development of technology and innovation in the state, as well as providing a platform for students and enthusiasts to showcase their skills. Techmorphoses will feature events such as coding challenges, robot building, and interactive gaming experience. The event is scheduled to be held on 25th March at Kohima Science College, Josoma. Registration and information on the event can be availed on the official event website www.nagapots.net. Thunderstorm and heavy rainfall has been predicted across the state on 19th and 20th March. A report from the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, MEDSIFEMA, said that thunderstorm with lightning is very likely at isolated places of Kiren, Dimapur, Kohima, Woka, Mogukchung and Longling on 18th and 19th March, while heavy rain is expected at isolated places of Kiren and Kohima on 20th March. Further, the citizens has been issued general warning to avoid staying in vulnerable structures, take shelter during thunderstorm and lightning activities, and keep away from all utility lines and objects that conduct electricity, and unblock any electronic equipments well before the storm arrives. And now 20 news, here are the main points again. First session of the 14th Nagaland Legislative Assembly to commence on 20th of March. Governor to address the House on 21st. Union Minister for Law and Justice Kiren Rijiju bats for simultaneous elections to the Lok Sabha and state assemblies. Union Home Ministry announces 10% reservation for former Agniveers in Central Industrial Security Force. And thunderstorm and heavy rainfall predicted across the state on 19th and 20th March. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.